like clockwork, if there's a new project with Frank Grillo attached to it, he is going to pull a David Ayer and never stop talking about Marvel and or whatever his new project is. So let's talk about more Crossbones decisions bad and DCU good. So I've talked about Frank Grillo as an actor and how much I like the character of Crossbones, who he portrayed in the MCU. I feel the same way he does about that character. I think the character was wasted and pretty much, well, made useless, if you will. Now, of course, that's due to changes in what the plans were for the MCU. He was supposed to have a much bigger role in Civil War, but that changed due to studio politics, so yeah, things sort of fell apart. Now, of course, Frank Grillo has returned to voice the character in a couple things, but outside of that, it doesn't look like he has a future in live action, and we know he's joined DCU's and James Gunn's Creature Commandos. He recently talked about that to Movie Phone, talked about how much he loves working with DC and the DCU and how much he loves James Gunn and Peter Safran. Talked about how they're going to make use of what he's done. And he talks a little bit about how he does miss the MCU, how much he misses the Russo brothers, Kevin Feige, and all them, and how much he wishes he could go back there and work in that playground. But again, that's out of his reach. So once again, he talks a little bit about how the MCU is just different, and one thing was said, one thing was done, and that's unfortunately it. That's it for him. So it's a little resentment, but I get it. He should be pissed. Like many other actors that sign on for a project and then you're told one thing the moment you signed on, but over the course of a year it changes and suddenly you might not even be who you were supposed to be or have as much of a role. Remember Iron Man 3? We were supposed to have a female villain. But Ike Perlmutter said no, women can't be in my films, so they had to completely cut down Maya's part and completely change it in like the 11th hour to appease him. That happens. That's what happened with his Crossbones role. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. He does hype up the upcoming DCU appearance, saying Creature Commandos is definitely unique and different, and it's a lot more interesting in terms of what they're presenting here in animation than most of the things he's done. Which, yeah, I mean, it's Creature Commandos. It looks insane.